Hi, my name is Danny, and today we're going to be making the base of a monogram pendant piece of jewelry. So, in case you're wondering what that is, I've already pulled up. This is exactly what we're going to be making, but I'm going to go back from the beginning and show you how to make one. So what this is there's a circular base here, two attachment holes that you could attach a chain to wear as a bracelet, and then these are my personal initials. You may need to customize it if you would like to make your own, but I'm going to show you how to make the DMB, and that's kind of the order monograms know. Just, I guess, a fun fact, you do kind of the first initial, last initial, and then the middle. So I already opened up the software and opened a new standard part. If you don't know how to do that, you may need to go back and watch the introduction to Autodesk Inventor Professional 2014 and sketching video if you have trouble getting to this screen. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to create a 2D sketch. Then I'm going to pick my plane. I personally am going to pick this XZ plane. Again, if you saw that video, you'll know it'll highlight for me. So this is the XZ. This is personal preference, whatever plane you would like to work on. I'm kind of thinking about this from a perspective that I want to 3D print this, and I kind of want it on that base, but whatever you want to do is fine. But I'm going to go ahead and select that. And as you can see, the cube spun around, and for some reason it always spins it that way so that the top is upside down, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like that. So I'm going to go up here, and we're going to start, again, for today's video, just making this base, this kind of turquoise part of this. So we're going to start by just making this big circular center. So the way we're going to do that is we are going to go up to the circle tab and pull that down and make sure that we are making a circle from a center point. And we want this to be at the origin. We want to have symmetry for this so that when we attach the letters later on, they line up the way we want them to. So we're going to go ahead, I'm just going to pull that out to a random amount, and then I'm going to go over here to constraints, left click, and dimension this. And I want the diameter of this to be 1.5 inches because I don't want this to be a very big pendant. So I'm going to go ahead and make that, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I have a good view of the entire thing. So you can make this circle whatever size you want. The reason I chose 1.5 is I know I'm going to have to split up this circle into 3 equal pieces of its width for the letters. And I wanted something easily divisible by 3, and 1.5 sounded good to me, and I just kind of like that size for myself. But again, you can go and choose whatever you want. So that part's done, and we're already pretty far along. So next what we're going to do is we're going to make the attachment holes. And so we want these holes on both this side and this side. And again, if you maybe want to make this a necklace, you could just make it on top. It's up to you, but again, this is the sketch we're going off of, and there is one on each side. So we're going to go ahead and do it like that. So I'm going to go back to circle and circle center point. I'm going to hover over here, and as you can see, Autodesk is trying to constrain the point there as soon as I get close to it. Excuse me. Sorry. So I want to have these attachment holes, the circles of them, to have a diameter of 0.25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press tab right here and add 0.125, which is going to be half of the diameter, to this x coordinate. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to press the right arrow key so that it doesn't highlight the whole thing, and just go over to the end and add 0.125. And you'll notice it stops blinking red, and I'm just going to go ahead and press enter. So I have this center, and again it's going to kind of constrain itself there anyways as soon as I get close to that. So we're going to repeat that on this side, although I'm going to add that 0.125 to the magnitude. So really, I'm going to subtract it here. So I'm going to press tab again and press minus 0.125. press enter, and again, we get a circle with a diameter of 0.25. All right, and now as you can see in the sketch, we're going to go back and look at that. These obviously aren't just circles, they're kind of attached with lines. So the bigger one, we're going to go up back to the draw box and press line. We're going to go to the top of one of these circles. As you can see, it kind of shows me that's even with the other circle right at the top there. And I'm going to left click once, kind of pull my mouse over until I kind of, as you can see, when it gets kind of close to this circle, it's going to constrain you there. And then I'm just going to left click again. And that little circle should light up green to show you that it is constrained to that larger circle. And then I'm going to go down here, and you want to see that vertical dotted line. And again, attach it to the circle, and just repeat the same step on the other side. Alright, so then we kind of want to get rid of these insides there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the trim tool by just left clicking, and then I'm going to show that that is in fact what I want to trim. I'm going to left click again, third time, and finally one more time. And then I also want to get rid of these inner parts here. Alright, so it's looking a lot like what we want it to look like. I'm going to go ahead and press escape to get out of the trim tool. But you'll notice, again, if we just go back and see what's next, we want to create these holes here. So there's two ways of doing that. What I think is easiest right now is going to create those holes in this sketch first. And then I'll go back after we finish the sketch and show you how you could do that a different way. I'm again just going to use a center point. Let me see. So I'm going to make this circle, and I want the diameter of this circle to be 0.125. So I'm going to drag that out, and as you can see, the diameter there is already being highlighted in blue, and I'm going to go ahead and just type in 0.125 and press enter. And it creates that nice circle for me. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, 0.125, enter. And there we go, there we have our holes. I'm going to press escape or just go in, right click and press OK. And we have this. So now we can go ahead and finish the sketch. And you can see we're back to this isometric view based on our little cube. And we're going to go ahead and extrude this. That's in the create box, and if you hover over, you can see, press F1 for more help, and you can just extrude an image up like that. I'm going to press that. I'm going to press this whole region. As you can see, it's highlighted in red. I'm going to press that, and then it's asking me how much I want to extrude it. You're only going to want to extrude this. As you can see, it's not very thick. Let me see if I can get a good view for you. You wouldn't want a pendant to be a whole inch, and especially considering that this height's only going to be half the thickness because you still have the letters to put on top of it. So I'm going to make these. I'm just going to press backspace since I'm already up in this window and make that 0.125. It's going to give you a preview of that. That looks good to me. What I'm going to do is you have all these options of how you want to extrude it: forwards, backwards, symmetrically, asymmetrically. I'm going to do backwards. Usually you want to go for symmetric because that's easiest, particularly in assemblies. But because I'm going to be stacking the letters on top, what I'm going to do is when I make those letters, I'm going to extrude them up and in assembly mate those planes so that when they come together, they don't overlap each other, which you'll see when we get to that. It's a little hard to explain now without being able to look at it. So I'm just going to say OK. And here we have our final base. I'm rotating it with a 3D mouse for you. So the other way you could have made these holes, I'm just going to go over really quick. You could have not done those in the sketch and just finished it there. and extruded it like this, and it would look exactly like this just without these holes. Then you could like create a 2D sketch and press this plane and project the geometry of this whole outline and the midpoints particularly of those circles you created, and create a hole that way, which I can make a separate video on if you would like to see how to make a hole that way. You can use the hole wizard, but it's better to know how to create the holes and how that's actually done first. So that's how you make the base. I'll show you in the assembly video how to get this cool color onto it and assemble that, and look out for the video on how to make the letters as well. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you get a chance to make your own monogram pendant piece. Thanks for watching.